Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jazzy Kitty Show. My name is Anelda Attaway, known to most as Jazzy Kitty. I'm the CEO and publisher of Jazzy Kitty Publications. We are here to introduce once again one of our most beloved and talented authors, Mark Wrobel. He is the author of 6 books published by us, which he will share with us later during the interview. We're also currently publishing his children's book titled Adventures of Super Mark. Mark is currently working on his new book that will be submitted soon for publication titled Golden Dragon. So without further ado, please welcome author Mark Wrobel. Mark, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Miss Hathaway. It is nice to be on your show. Well, for the audience who doesn't know me yet, my name is Mark Wrobel. I'm an I'm a published author. I'm a podcaster, and I also have my own YouTube channel. And for the past 20 years, I have served in the United States military and the United States Coast Guard. I speak Polish, English, Spanish, and Russian, and I do speak some Arabic.
Wow.
Um, uh, okay, go ahead, Miss Hathaway.
Okay. I just were curious. I didn't really know you had um a podcast channel, and I didn't know anything about your YouTube channel. So I have a bunch of questions that I want to ask, but I do want to get a little bit more background on the podcast and the YouTube channel.
Well, my podcast is called The Voice of Free America. Um, I've been I've been working on that now, and I do have another YouTube channel called my book review channel. It's out there. It's out there on YouTube actually. I do post my videos there from time to time, to promote my books and actually discuss some world topics that are going on. Um, Matter of fact, I did a discussion about the or Ukrainian crisis recently. I do talk about my books there, but most of the time I do like political discussion that affects all of us in the world, and I discuss world events and all that other stuff
Okay,
as
wow.
well.
So Mark, tell us what inspired you to write your books.
Well, my inspiration came from several sources. My father was one of them. Um, because that the my inspiration for my writing my books was a thing that happened to me and my father. We see, I would have never written these types of books unless a certain event in my life that happened to me when my father's deceased right now, but uh, uh, he died recently, but when he was living, me and him, we attended a certain meeting, and after we came back from it. That's when I talked with my dad about it, and he actually said, "Hey, Mark, what you have experienced, you have to write now," and that's how my writing career began, and then. And then my other inspiration was, my friend Carl Arcaro. Unfortunately, he can't be with us here tonight. He was invited, but he couldn't make it because of his family issues. So, but yeah, it was my father and my friend Carl Arcaro that inspired me to write a book. And also my other friends supported my writing career as well. and after I came back from a certain meeting with where that me and my father attended, that's when I really started to actually go deeper into the subject that I have written about in my most of my books. So
Wow, that's
I hope
awesome.
I hope that answers everyone's questions. I mean,
That that's great. I want to also ask you, out of all of your books, and you have quite a few, how tell us like your favorite, and if so, why?
okay, my well, one well, to be honest with you, all of those books that I have written from progressive credentialism versus ageism through all the way through the book called through my fictional military book called Operation Wrath of Solomon. But I have two favorite books. One of them is is called The American Holocaust, and the other one has to be Wrath of Saladin. Although I do like to write my political books, but the book see when I write my political books, it I had experience. The reason I wrote those political books because of my certain experience that me and my father have experienced. But I do like the book. The most I like the book Operation Wrath of Saladin because the Operation Wrath of Saladin I could let my imagination basically take control of me, and I could go with my imagination wherever I wanted to go. So
Wonderful.
one of my that's I mean yes, I do enjoy writing those political books, but political books do take a lot out of me because you have to do research and all that other those other things and the most hard part of writing those political books was I mean, yes, they're very controversial, mind you, but I mean, it takes a lot of research and it takes a lot of time. But for example, the Operation Wrath of Saladin, I am the most happy about that particular book is because I could actually take my imagine. I took my imagination and I just wanted to see where it had led me. So. That's yes, political books are my bread and butter, but my favorite book is the Operation Wrath of Saladin because in this particular book I could actually use my imagination and see where it took me and may I say that imagination of mine took me for a wild ride in the first place.
Wow. So, if you had to give advice to a novice writer, someone working on their first book, what would you tell them?
Well, first of all, what I would tell them is first of all, what I would say is like if what I would tell them is the number one piece of advice I would tell them, don't ever listen to your English teachers when they tell you that you don't have a talent for writing
Wow.
because let me tell you why do I give such advice that what I say, don't listen to your English teachers because until you put your may I say, until you, in the modern world, until you sit down in front of your computer and you open up that Microsoft Word and you start typing your first words, that's when you will know whether you have the writing talent or not. Not, I mean, because I mean, and don't ever listen to your friends if they criticize you whatever. It's like in that case you have to take control and you have to do. Can I put? I'm not going to use a bad word here, but it's like you have to do you. You have to be your own person, and you got to say to yourself, "I'm doing this, and I don't care what nobody says."
Good
Because
answer.
like because when it comes to writing itself, everybody's a critic, and by the way, everybody has a right to criticize you or praise you or whatever. That's and I'm going to give you another piece of advice. You have to have When you become a writer, you have to have thick skin, because like I said, not everyone's going to like your books, but those that do, then you will know who your friends are.
Right. Okay, that's an awesome answer. So, how do you celebrate when you finish a book to become a published author?
Oh man, when see, I'm working on, because the I'm working on my book called The Golden Dragon, and the reason I do like that particular book, most of the book that I do like is the Operation Wrath of Solomon and the Golden Dragon, is because I could actually use my imagination and put my friends into that particular book. And the way I mean, there's no, let me put it to you this way. How do I celebrate it? Let me tell you, there's no better feeling when you have your book written down, corrected, and it's on the way to be published. It's like you were big, because see what the way I understand. A lot of people, a lot of authors have different ways of different styles of writing books, and they have different ways of doing this or that, and when it comes to writing, to each its own. But when I see my books in print and being displayed on Amazon, that's where you can actually get them. That's when I see my finished product, I'm like, yes, I finally accomplished something. And believe me, that is for me. When I finish writing a book, that is the greatest feeling. It's like when you finish a book, it's like Yahoo! I finally finished my book, and I mean, to be honest with you, it makes me feel good.
That's awesome. So, tell us, what are your true hopes and dreams for your writing career?
My writing, see, my father said that I'm sort of that I used to be a show off, and and kind of I'm sorry for kind of like, nah, let's see what I can do. I bet you can't do this. I mean, I understand it's kind of childish. At my age, it's kind of childish to act this way. But when it comes to writing, what I want, because I'm certain, and I'm basically differently able, and it's like, and it's like, if I do something, I would have to do, like, for example, when somebody writes, for example, writes a book, they have to put in 100% into their writing, or it's not going to work. But for me, because I'm differently able, then I would have to put 300% into it. And it's like, some people think that as a writer I walk with my nose stuck up. That's not really true. It's just my facade. I have to put as a writer, I do have to put on a thick skin, and I'm not always that way. You've been working with me, so you know what kind of person I am. But it's like, for example, it's like, you can do this, I can do better, and it's like, it's always been, for me, it was a struggle all the time, because in order to climb to the top, I had to break a lot of, as they say, glass ceilings. And so with my writing, I want to be the best writer that I can be, because I want to show people that with my writing I can achieve something, that I can be independent, that I can basically make my own living. No, like I don't like no nobody's gonna tell me that I can't, that you can't do this or you can't do that because of your disability. I'm just gonna, it's like it's like with me, it's like if and in order for me, and I'm sorry for being this way, but in order for me to be successful, I mean, if my friends want to join me on the train of success, that's great. If but I'm not going to wait for them. Hey, if the train's leaving, I'm just going to get on the train. If they don't want to get on the train with me, that's on them. They're going to have to catch up,
Oh, wow. That's right.
because
They gotta get on the ride, right, Mark?
either either they're gonna get on my train of success, or they're gonna get left behind, because
I
uh,
heard
because
that.
be, because to be honest with you, although writing, it is a very comparative it's a very competitive field to get into, first of all. And and because let me tell you, once success comes, success does not wait for no one. And it's like, and if I succeed, then that's great. That's great on me. And if my friends get left behind, I'm like, so what? Because that is the competition. I mean, that is the level of competition in the writing market. You either going to be successful or you're not. And it's like, to be honest with you, when I got into writing, my father told me this, that he said, you're gonna have to give up a lot of things. Yes, you're gonna still have friends and all that, but you're gonna have to start, you're gonna have to not give up on your friends, but you're gonna have to adjust. You're gonna have to adjust the way you think. You're gonna and it does. I'm sorry for sounding selfish in this thing, but that is the nature of the beast. That's how competitive the writing market is. It's either it's like swimming. It's like swimming with sharks. It's either you're gonna be that shark or you're gonna get left behind. And that's the way it is. And you kind of learn this. And well, see, I don't have a, what do you call, I'm not, those people who do know me, I'm not a jerk. I'm not a jerk at all. It's it's just the nature of the beast. It's right. The writing market is so competitive that it's like, I know that it sounds childish sometimes to say that for example, oh yeah, you can do this, I can do this better. No, 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 no. And it's like you're gonna have to climb to the, if you want to climb to the top of the success ladder in the writing market, you're gonna have to put away certain things that and it does sound selfish, but when it comes to writing and the writing market, when you're a published author, the only person you should be cheering for is yourself. And if your friends want to cheer you on, that's great. If they don't, then they just get left behind. That's
Okay.
all.
Um,
I,
Let us know, like, how long does it actually take you to write a book? Is it like 3 months, 6 months, a year?
well, it depends what type of book it is, because if it is a political book, then it does take then it takes you a long time, because you have to do research and all that. Like, you have to have research, you have to check your sources, you have to uh, like you don't, when you do research for a certain book, you don't go into one source. You have to go through a bunch of sources in order to, it depends what topic you're doing, and then you have to look at your sources. You have to like, analyze the thing, and then you compare the two. And when it comes to political books, it will take me a little bit longer to do. It takes me like a year to do a political book, but like a political, in order to write a like a conservative political book, it takes a long time because of the research involved and some other things involved too, like gathering documents, interviewing people, watching YouTube videos, doing all kinds of things. Then yeah, but like my military fiction books, it takes me last time to do my military fiction books because it doesn't involve as much research. But the way I write, I would rather write slower and take my time and do this job the best I can to do this job right. Like for example, you have corrected many of my books. You have corrected my the book Wrath of Saladin, for example. That book, I had to check my spelling errors. I have to do make sure that's right before I even send it to the publisher
That's
because I mean, whether you write a political book or a adventure book or any type of book, you because see, and also in the book market itself, what you have to realize is that you only get one shot at putting your name out there. And it's like you have when it comes to writing, when it comes to writing, you don't want to rush a book through. Some people, I understand. Some people just do it, just write a book because they want to make money, and that's okay because there's a variety of reasons to write a book. That's fine, but but I usually take my time in writing books, whether I write a political book or a fiction book, and that is because I want to put my best foot out there, because I may not get a second chance.
that's true.
I mean, and people, unfortunately, people don't realize. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna just sit down and write a book, blah blah blah. I'll send it to the publisher, and I'm gonna and I'm gonna make money and all that." That's all great, but when it comes to writing, if you don't put your right foot, if you don't put your if you don't get it right the first time, it is very hard to make it up later on.
Well, before we end this interview, Mark, I want to know, is there anything else you would like your viewers to know about your writing career, about you, anything you
Me,
want them to know?
uh, I mean me, to be honest with you, and to be honest with you, although my friends cannot be here with me today on this particular interview, and to be honest with you, and if it wasn't for my father, Carl, Amber, and Carla, and all my friends out there, and even my friend Joe Casey, and everybody that supported me over the years, my father included. And if it wasn't for the right support, I don't. And if it wasn't for my dear publisher, by the way, if it wasn't for my dear publisher, uh, I don't think my writing career would have gotten. I wouldn't even get my first book published. And to be honest with you, when I wrote my my first book, Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, I'm thinking of rewriting it, not revising it, because what I found that because I do when it comes to certain topics like like the topics I wrote, progressive credentialism versus ageism and the American Holocaust. On those two topics, your research will never end, because what I have discovered, and the reason I wanted to kind of update my book, Progressive Credentialism versus ageism, because what I have learned about now is that most, and I did some research on YouTube about this too, just to confirm it and to be sure about it. Um, what the corporations are doing now is like that they do have what we call do not hire lists. And here's how they work. Now, for example, if a company lays you off and then after they lay you off and then they call people back from the layoff because they have some positions open and they don't call you, there's a 99% chance that you're not going to get called back because you were put on the blacklist, what we call do not hire list. And how do you find out if you're on the blacklist? Well, that is the most difficult part thing to do. The only way you can find out about it, and the only way to do this, is if you go through a recruiter, and you can, if you submit your application through the recruiter, and they say you call them back and say, well, I'm not getting response from this particular corporation or a company, that then 99% you are put on that particular blacklist. And that's one of the other things. Now, when it comes to writing such books as Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, and the book called The American Holocaust, that particular book, The American Holocaust, is one of my greatest achievement, and the reason for that is because that manuscript, I'm going to tell you, there's a little secret to that manuscript of the American Holocaust that I have not mentioned to anybody about that. That particular book, I actually started writing it while I was still in Strayer University, and my father was helping me out. But once I finished, I mean, he wasn't suggesting, but he was the kind of guy that was watching my back because he wanted to make sure that nothing happened to me. I actually, I finished writing the book. My father liked it. My other people, my friends liked it, but we were afraid to publish that particular book because because my father said it was a great book, but it was too controversial. So before I even found you, because remember the first book I published was Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, but then I said, Miss Nelda, I have another book published, and I said, remember I said to you, I said, are you going to be able to publish this book? Because I told you that manuscript contains some information that's useful for other people, but I said, are you okay with publishing it? Because the topic was so controversial that I was worried that my father was worried that if I published the book, something was going to happen to me.
So thank God nothing did. Uh, this we only have about 9 minutes or so left in the interview, and I wanted to ask you: would you honestly recommend other inspiring authors to Jazzy Kennedy publications, and why?
Definitely, definitely. Because the reason I would recommend it, it's like because although yes, my books, most of my political books are very controversial. Remember when I started with you, with my writing and through your company, publishing company. To be honest with you, because no, to be honest with you, such books as The American Holocaust, Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, I went through I went through a bunch of publishers and nobody even dared to, like, with the with the progressive credentialism was controversial topic as it was. But then I had to hide the other script, the American Holocaust, because I went through one publisher, they don't want to touch it. That also includes progressive credentialism. No other publishing company wanted to touch those because they said no, we're not doing it. It's too controversial. So I said I had these. Then I had my progressive credentialism versus ageism manuscript um, finished, and I had the American Holocaust manuscript, and I was like, nobody else wanted to touch no other publisher wanted to touch my scripts, manuscripts. I mean, forgive me, manuscripts.
Well, I
Nobody
just
wanted
want
to.
to let you know right up front, we're happy to have you. I'm blessed
Nobody,
to have published them. I think
n-
you're an awesome and talented writer. And
right.
people need to really look into your books, and they're going to be very pleased, very educated. They're going to be uh, wild. They're going to really, it's really interesting reading your stuff. Like when I had to edit the books, I had to really read it. And I was just blown away
I
of your
mean,
writing style, Mark.
and for example, the other book that I mentioned that I wanted to mention, that's one of many books that I published with it, is called The Unknown Secrets of World War II. That is also my one of my favorite books that I have published, is because because in that particular book I discuss certain topics that they're not even taught in our history class for obvious reasons or whatever the reasons may be.
Well, Mark, I want to let you know, I want to thank you for doing this interview with us tonight. Jazzy Kitty
Um,
Publications is very excited and happy to have you. Like I said, as an author. And I just want everyone to know that Mark's books can be purchased on Amazon and other online bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, Goodreads. That's just to name a few. And I just want to thank you all for viewing this interview. I hope that it's enlightened you more about Mark Wrobel and his books. I want to thank you in advance for purchasing one of all of his books. Each book brings something different. All of them are exciting to read. And if you want to become a published author like Mark Wrobel, please contact Jazzy Kitty Publications at 877 782 5550 or email me at Anelda at jazzykittypublications.com. Also, you can visit our website at jazzykittypublications.com. So I want to thank everyone out there for listening and viewing this interview with Mark Wrobel. The purpose of this interview, I should say, is marketing his books. Because if you don't know they're out there, how are you going to purchase them? If you don't know about Mark Wrobel, how are you even going to, try to look for him? So I'm asking you guys to, pay attention, as he got an awesome children's book coming and another book, like I said, Golden Dragon. And I want to quickly list all the titles of his book. So even if you want to search the name, you can find it. Progressive Criticism versus Ageism. And Mark, feel to jump in if I get them wrong. The
yeah,
American
it's
Book.
called, so
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Permission to jump in. It's called Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism.
Ageism. Okay. The
That's
American
okay. That's
Holocaust.
okay there.
The
That's
American
okay.
Holocaust.
Uh,
The
d-
fall of the American Empire. Operation Wrath of Saladin, start of the coming Civil War, and unknown secrets of World War II. That all of those books are already published. And like I said, coming soon is his children's book, Adventures of Supermark and Golden Dragon. Is Golden Dragon another political bookmark, or
no,
is it something
N-
you just
no.
love?
You remember? That's a good thing that's a good thing that you still have me on here, and I am gonna give my little toot. I'm gonna toot my horn a little bit about my Golden Dragon book. It is a continuation of the military fiction books, like because I have the book Operation Wrath of Saladin, the Golden Dragon. There's going to be, I think there's going to be two. The Golden Dragon. It's the continuation of the Operation Wrath of Saladin, but it's in a different setting.
Oh,
It takes it is a it is it's let me put it this way. It is a spy book. It's it is a military adventure, but it's a continue because I want to turn my I want to turn my Operation Raffle Saladin into a series. So the Golden Dragon is Golden Dragon. That book is a continuation of Operation Raffle Saladin. It's a more adventure book of it's an adventure book of it's a military adventure book that my friends will go on another adventure with me, the same similar adventure that we went on what we call the what do you call it, the Operation Wrath of Saladin, but it's a different setting, it's a different ball game.
Okay, wow. Well, if you'd like uh, anything that you heard tonight, or you want more information, you're curious about Mark Wrobel, some things we may have not covered, and you have questions for him. Mark, do you have any contact information that can contact you directly?
Oh, they can. You can either reach out to me on email. My email address is mawrobel@verizon.net, or you can even call me on my cell number at 302-298-4193, or 302-655-8367. And if somebody's, and I am, I want people to know that as an author, I am approachable, and so if you guys, because me and you are planning another public appearance soon, I would like to mention that. So either in the Woodlawn Library or on Route 9 Library. So we are planning another public appearance. So, I see, let's put it this way. I don't bite. I am very approachable, and if anybody has a question, please don't hesitate to either email me or call me or contact me on Facebook, um, Instagram. Even you can leave a message in the comment section of my YouTube channel as well.
Awesome. You guys feel free to call us, at Jazzy Kitty Publication. If you can't remember or you didn't hear his information to share, always call Jazzy Kitty Publications at 877-782-5550. I want to thank you all again for watching. Please share this video with your friends and family. It will be on YouTube and Facebook, everywhere on social media. We will post this video. Again, thank you so much. Mark, it was a pleasure having you tonight. I think all your every answer to the question were very, very inspirational. And I just thank you once again for being part of the Jazzy Kitty Publications family.
Let me tell you, the pleasure's all mine, and if it wasn't for you, then believe me, my writing career would have gone nowhere, and I am glad to be part of the Jazzy Kitty Publications family.
Well, that wraps it up for us tonight. Thank you again for watching. And again, I ask you to please share this with your friends and family. Good night.
Good night, everybody.